What is up, guys? I'm Heath Pierce. The transfer window is open and deals are getting done. We want to give you our take on those that are already in the books and some of those rumors that have piqued our interest. So it's time for our rad show, rumors and done deals. So let's do it. Messi staying at Barcelona. Not that anyone actually thought he would ever leave Barca, but Messi will officially extend his contract until 2021 after he returns from his honeymoon. Not a bad weekend for Messi, huh? Got married, goes on a honeymoon to Antigua, and agrees to a gigantic new contract. The deal ties him to the club that he joined when he was 13 until the age of 34. Feels like yesterday we were watching 19-year-old Messi tear defenses apart. What might get overlooked here is that Messi actually only had 1 year left on his current contract. Normally, clubs renegotiate contracts with star players when they have 3 or 4 years left, but Barca left this one down to the wire. Or perhaps it was Messi's team that held the deal up. Regardless, Messi's new contract apparently has a 300 million euro buyout clause, so it's safe to say he won't be going anywhere until 2021. I give this one a thumbs up because who really wants to see Messi leave Barcelona? Ruben Neves to Wolves. Before I go any further on this one, I'm telling you right now, thumbs down. This one stinks of modern football where agents have too much control over players, managers, and clubs. For those who didn't know, Ruben Neves is a 20-year-old up-and-coming Portuguese holding midfielder with 2 international caps to his name, so Wolves would love to have his services, but here's where it gets a little bit fishy. His agent, Jorge Mendes, is the agent of Wolves manager Nuno Espirito Santo, is an advisor to Wolves ownership group, and Porto are in financial ruins and need as much money as possible to avoid financial fair play sanctions from UEFA. So while all of this is public and true and just seemingly the world we live in nowadays, what's in it for the player? Championship football? A nice signing bonus? He's been linked to a number of Premier League clubs including Liverpool, but will now be playing in the second-tier league. Again, thumbs down because this just sucks for the kid who, albeit wasn't in top form for Porto this year, but certainly deserved, in my opinion, better guidance from his agent. Lacazette to Arsenal. We told you about this one last week and now it's a done deal. If you want to see how much this makes sense, just click the link and get my thoughts from last week. Question is though, does Alexis Sanchez stay or does he go? Either way, big thumbs up on this one. John Terry to Aston Villa. Now, this one from my perspective was hugely unexpected. Now, before I give my opinion on the value of the actual move, I must say, I can't even imagine what it's like for players like John Terry who are so deeply attached to a club for so long and forced to move on. I mean, he won 14 major trophies and was Chelsea's most successful captain ever, but football is bigger than that sometimes and he becomes surplus to requirements. What I do respect though is his choice to join a championship squad, as he couldn't imagine playing against his former club in the Premier League. Now, onto the move itself. It's an underwhelming move to say the least, but let's not forget that Villa need a ton of help and Terry's no spring chicken, so it all makes sense. I gotta say though, the WhatsApp social announcement by Aston Villa was one of the best I've seen from a club in a very long time. Even though I said Kick and our brothers at Copa 90 have been doing the text WhatsApp videos forever now, but we're here to celebrate the game, so it's all love. Honestly though, I think legends leaving their club for their swan song feels a little bit weird, so I'm gonna give this one a thumbs down. Sandro Ramirez to Everton. This one is already done. I like this. I like Spaniards leaving Spain to challenge themselves in other leagues. He's 21 years old, scored 14 goals in La Liga last year for Malaga after being released by Barcelona in 2016. He was also 3rd in La Liga, only behind Messi and Antoine Griezmann for goals scored from outside the area, which is a key tool to have in the Premier League when the box can sometimes be overcrowded and you have to fight for every inch. This transfer comes on the back of locking up the best young goalie in England in Pickford, arguably the best young defender in Michael Keane, and Ajax's captain. Everton fans must be thrilled and they look primed to make a real go at breaking up that top 6. Here's a question for you though. How many of these players would get into the starting 11 of Everton's rivals, Liverpool? You could make an argument for a few of them. Pickford over Mignolet, Keane over Lovren, Klaassen over Emre Can. Hit me up in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Either way though, well done Everton, big thumbs up. Wayne Rooney to Everton. This one piques my interest in a lot of ways. 13 years since Wayne Rooney last played at Everton is a long time, but he stated that the only club he'd leave United for in the Premier League is Everton, so it has a great chance of actually happening. If Rooney leaves, when Rooney leaves, his options will likely be Everton or Major League Soccer, neither of which would likely pay his 250,000+ pound salary a week, but Everton could get the closest, with Man U likely asking for little to nothing in a transfer fee just to get rid of those heavy wages on the books. The sad part about Rooney as well is that he'll likely be remembered for his dip in production over the last couple seasons, but what I do want to acknowledge is that he, at his best, was one of the best ever to play in the Premier League. During his time at United, he scored a total of 253 goals, won 5 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the FA Cup, 3 League Cups, the Europa League, and the FIFA Club World Cup. Unfortunately, he was born in the era of Ronaldo and Messi's and 50-goal seasons, so his consideration for Ballon d'Or was never going to be a reality, but I will say, doing it in the Premier League at the level that he has for as long as he has, winning as much as he has, should be considered nothing short of world class. Anyway, I give this one a thumbs up and is a much better look returning to his old club than John Terry playing in the Championship. Chicharito to West Ham. This one comes down to the choices of Chicharito and Leverkusen, and quite honestly, has very little to do with West Ham at this point. I mean, look, Chicharito's tallied 39 times in 76 appearances during his time at the club, and since Leverkusen missed out on Europe this season, it only makes sense that they want to offload him and his heavy wages. The question is, though, does he want to go to West Ham? He's a proven goal scorer at the top level, and with a 13 million release clause, he's pretty cheap for the Premier League, but I'm not sure it's the right fit. Where will the service come from? What will the expectations be? They can certainly use a boost to their 47 goals scored last year. This one feels a bit forced to me, but I'm not totally against Chicha coming back to the Premier League, so I'm giving this one a Donnarumma staying at AC Milan. This one looks pretty much wrapped up, so take a deep breath, Milan fans. I mean, we all knew he wasn't leaving, right? But seriously, the news out of Milan is that the 18-year-old Donnarumma has agreed to a new 5-year contract for 80,000+ a week and 2 buyout clauses, 100 million if Milan reach the Champions League and 50 million if they don't. From what I've been reading, Milan is putting all their eggs in the basket of a top 4 finish. They've been the most aggressive in Europe this summer and have greatly improved the squad. The issue? With Donnarumma's new wages and buyout clause and financial fair play regulations, AC Milan can't get this wrong or things could go really wrong. Donnarumma staying is a huge win for the club, and mad respect to Donnarumma for dealing with the drama of his family, his agent, and every other person in the world that turned their back on him during this period. I give this one a thumbs up. Pepe to Besiktas. Just as it seemed for sure that Pepe was heading to PSG to try to bring that Champions League winning magic to the City of Light, it looks like Pepe instead took a U-turn and is heading to Istanbul to join champions Besiktas. Apparently the length of contract was a sudden breakdown with PSG, even though Unai Emery was desperate to get him in the door. I guess that's how it goes when you're 34 years old. At Besiktas though, he could be playing on the same back line as Alexander Kolarov, who has an offer on the table as well. I am actually glad that Pepe isn't heading to China to end his illustrious career, so I guess thumbs up on this one. So guys, plenty more rumors are swirling around, so let us know if there's anyone that we missed, and we will make sure to talk about it on our Walk Talk Football show tomorrow. Follow, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.